morning, everybody. So it is Saturday, April 23rd, and I am, well, it's 8 o'clock almost. It's 10 till 8. So slept in this morning. So I am putting my vlog together from yesterday because I didn't do it last night before I went to bed. And I've broken out the sewing machine. I need to sew up the edges of a piece of fabric before I dye it. I'm going to dye some fabric because I have a new start. Mindy and I decided to start this. So I want to dye my fabric. We've made a bunch of changes, as is our want. And the goal is to start the May block on May 1st. So we're getting our fabrics ready, and I've got to go buy some of the floss because I don't have it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do this morning. I'm also going to, do the study thing at some point today. But yeah, so I'll talk to you later. Alright, fabric is sewn and is now getting damp, so I can dye my fabric, but I just thought I'd show you it's a busy day in the Mannix household. I'm trying to dye fabric and the husband is getting ready to bottle beer. So, I am going to tie-dye this time instead of the ice dye. So, I have my fabric all wet. I have my bucket of stuff, and there's some rubber bands in here. I don't use much. The floss is in there for when I choose to dye floss. That's the floss I use to dye, see? And then I've got various RIT dyes. So, I'm going to get on, oh, and don't forget the coffee. Gotta have the coffee. So, I will check back in a little bit. I can tell you, I'm not a patient person. So, let's check in. So, handy dandy, yeah, kitchen thingy. Lets me kind of look at where the fabric is. It's getting there. This is pearl gray. So, I am going to get it to a dark gray. It's pretty close to where I want it now, but you always need to make sure the fabric's a little darker because the dye will, some of the dye will wash out. And then I'm going to streak in some purple and maybe some pale pink. And I'm just going to really lightly streak that in. I'm going to use these bottles. So this one says it's green, but I took the green dye out, rinsed it out, and I've just put a little water, and I don't have purple dye, so I'm just going to mix some red and some blue to get myself some purple. And then there's some pink dye in here, but I probably won't use this because I'm not going to use that much. I mean, that amount of dye does this whole bottle, and I'm only doing a little piece of fabric, so I'll probably just do the purple, clean out the bottle a little bit, and put some pink dye in there and do that. I like the idea of the squirt bottles. It gives me a real good control. And I'll put the, when I get ready, I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Trying something new. I know it'll look cute when I'm done because, well, it's the stitching that's really important. The fabric just enhances, so yeah. And it's a beautiful morning outside. We're going to clean up the patio and plant some plants, I think, tomorrow. So I can study outside and have a pretty place. But anyway, that's what I'm doing right now, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, I've moved this outside. I've got the gray on there. I know it probably looks a little blue with the light, but I'm outside and on my porch and there's shade and stuff, so yeah. So I mixed up a little pink, and I've got my purple, and yeah, so I can't do this one-handed, so I'll show you when I'm done. So this is the aftermath of me and Mindy planning a new project. Had to get the sewing machine out so I could sew the fabric. That's my box of fabrics. I have thread. I have more thread under the book. Yeah, my other stuff. And then, you know, the kitty has to come visit and meow at me. Huh, baby girl? Now you're gonna pretend you don't see me? Hmm? So, here's what it's looking like. It's still damp, so it's not quite done or dry yet. So, but I've ironed it, so it's mostly dry. And I'll just let it sit there and hang. So, I don't get as much purple. It's kind of a purpley, but I think that's more from the pearl gray. And then there's a little bit of the pink to it, which I think is going to look really pretty with the colors on it. So that's that, and I'll talk to you later. So just sitting here doing a little studying, had some lunch, and my fabric is finally dry. So there it is. It still looks a little blue in the camera compared to what it actually is. Yeah. But can't really help that. I'm not breaking out the bigger camera to vlog with. That's just not practical. But I will probably be doing like I usually do a weekly video anyway. I'm just going to make the weekly video kind of a wrap up on the stitching stuff for those that don't really want to watch vlogs anyway. So, and that I'll use a better camera because it's come out really pretty. There's grays and there's kind of a purpley tone to it, and then the pink has kind of softened really nicely. So that's that side, and here's this side. I'm not going to stitch on this side. I'm going to stitch on this side. It's nice and soft and subtle on this side, so this is what I'm going to stitch on. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. It came out really pretty. A little more subtle than ice dye, which don't get me wrong, I like ice dyeing too, but I wanted something a little bit more subtle for this project. So yeah, anyway, I will talk to you later. Well, everybody, it is 11:30 at night, so I am going to be going to bed. Got some stitching done. As you can see, it is looking awesome. I just have to finish the word enough and put in backstitch in Albert Einstein, and I will be all done. So that is awesome. So yeah, other than that, I did a little bit of looking on YouTube for excuse me, I'm tired, new floss tubers, and added some new floss tubers to the playlist. So yeah, and the Cross Stitch It's Fun group has reached the 3,000 member mark, so that is super exciting. The group's, you know, a year and a half old, and we've already hit 3,000 members, so that is awesome. We're going to have to, we've done a post, but yeah, just so cool. Everybody is so wonderful. I just, yeah. Anyway, I'm so thankful for everybody, so I'm tired and I'm probably not making any sense, so I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.